Thanks, guys. After the last 4 weekends with home games at Kinnick, I think Iowa City could use a little bit of a break. Headed into the bye week, Iowa football's offensive and defensive coordinators met with the media yesterday to give a first trimester report on how they think the Hawks have performed so far this season. Offensive coordinator Brian Ferentz said that he's impressed with how the offense has improved throughout the season because they've been able to increase their yards per play, which gives them more breathing room to throw the ball more often.
We've thrown the ball a little bit more efficiently in the last 2 ball games. And the more we can throw the ball on first and second down and do those things, certainly it's easier to create more yardage throwing the ball than running it. So if you can get a good blend going on first and second down, little run, little pass, but you're being efficient throwing the ball and you're completing those balls and you're completing them a little bit further down the field, then that's a positive. That's where you see those yards per play jump a little bit. And if we can keep that going, that'd be helpful. It helps you move the ball.
Later on, defensive coordinator Phil Parker addressed concerns about his decisions when it comes to choosing who to start and who sits on the bench.
Who actually makes the decisions of who plays? Do you guys know that? Who makes that decision? Me? The players. Okay, the easiest thing for me to do is sit there and I evaluate guys. And sometimes a guy might be running with number 2s. Might be a little bit down, hey, I'm not starting, why am I not starting? Well, you have to ask you got to gain my trust, okay? Sometimes guys go the other way and they say, it's not that important to me to hustle, effort, or whatever. And I'm not saying this is with AJ, but I'm just saying overall. But the guys make the decision. If I know this guy is playing, this is the guy I'm counting on because he impresses me the most. He's the one I'm going to count on when it's tough, when you got to make a decision.
Wow, what a great take from Parker there. The linebackers are one of the biggest question marks headed into the season, but so far they've been an exclamation point. And now the Daily Iowan's pregame editor Adam Hensley joins us to give us his report card for the Hawks as they enter bye week after talking with the coordinators yesterday. Adam, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
A lot of people questioned offensive coordinator Brian Ferentz playing in Wisconsin. What did he have to say about that?
Well, there was one play call in particular that left a really sour taste in Hawkeye fans' mouths following the loss. Iowa drove all the way down to the Wisconsin 5-yard line on its opening possession of the game, went for it on a 4th and inches, and got stuffed. Now, a lot of fans are still complaining about it, saying that it was a pretty spur-of-the-moment call, but on Wednesday, offensive coordinator Brian Ferentz took to the podium, and he said that was not the case. It was not a spur-of-the-moment decision, and that it was predetermined that if Iowa ever faced a 4th and less than 1, that it was an automatic go. He also added that he does not second-guess his play calling.
And now that Nick Niemann is injured, who do the Hawkeyes turn to at outside linebacker now?
Well, with Niemann being out a couple of weeks, or at least that's how long Kirk Ferentz said in his teleconference on Tuesday, the Hawkeyes do have some options. Defensive coordinator Phil Parker mentioned Barrington Wade as one player who might step up in Niemann's absence. However, he also mentioned a little bit of a shift. Christian Welch, who started alongside Niemann as the other outside linebacker, he might move over to Niemann's spot. Therefore, Jaimon Colbert would start. Colbert and Welch both have experience starting at various points this season, so the Hawkeyes should be fine with whatever options they decide to roll out with come Minnesota time.
And Iowa had a tough team on special teams, specifically in the punt return game. Did special teams coordinator LeVar Woods say if there would be any changes in the punt return?
Woods said there would not be any changes in the special teams return game. In particular, Kyle Gronewig was one guy who kind of struggled against Wisconsin. There's a little bit of a questionable fair catch he had inside the Wisconsin 5-yard line, and he also fumbled the ball, and it really was just a matter of easy ball security. Now, LeVar Woods said Gronewig is Iowa's guy in the punt return game. There's no changes. But he also mentioned that Iowa special teams, especially the punt return game, have a chance to be very dangerous this season.
Adam Hensley live in the newsroom. Thank you. Now, since the football team got a week off, we only thought it was right for Bo and Lucy to do the same. So no pregame show tomorrow, but be sure to tune in for a special feature on the volleyball team and students' reactions to the football team's performance in their first 4 games.